We're going to get right straight to this. I'm going to explain to you why Trench's News is not a snitch or a rat or a paid informant. I know the paperwork is out there, um, and I don't know if that's even really his name. There's so much stuff that goes on the internet. A lot of us don't know nothing. But I want to speak from a logic point of view. How can Trench's News be a rat if he's not an active gang member? He was nowhere near when that crime was committed. Yes, I know they say one of the defendants had texted him. For a lot of people who know what a federal indictment is, a federal indictment, this is not like state where you could probably buck a subpoena. No, this ain't like that. Everybody get wrapped up. Everybody get wrapped up. Mama, uncle, mailman, the dog too. High school teacher. You're not bucking nothing like this. Now, mind you, this is a man who's on YouTube who's making money, and he's not an active gang member. He's telling you stories of his lifestyle from years ago. We need to have common sense. Putting the label a rat on somebody is very dangerous when they're not ratting and they're just civilians. There's so many people racked up in this FBG Duck case. Is the baby's mama's rat? Is the guy who was standing next there watching the shooting a rat? But you call a YouTuber who's not an active gang member, nor was he selling drugs, nor was he affiliated. He's not known to have no bodies on him. He's not known to run no drills for the gang. Chicago business is all over the news. We already know who the legends and who the driller. Y'all give everybody the information. Think about it. Y'all give everybody the information. What's going on in Chicago, who the drillers are. So since this case is up and a bunch of innocent people's wrapped up, he's a rat. How? I don't even think he was hanging with these guys too tough. A lot of these guys wasn't even running drills. Most of the oppositions on both sides wasn't even here anymore. So he goes and gets a big fish, and he gets wrapped up into this. Something he had nothing to do, but he's a rat. The logic just doesn't make sense. People who I know been in jail, who's been wrapped up in cases, RICO cases at that. When a RICO case come, if you ain't active in it, nobody can put that jacket on you. I want people to be a little bit wiser before you start calling people a rat. Lord Jesus. I read the documents. I see who's snitching. I see what the proper number is. But I'm going for strictly knowledge. And nigga, for somebody who's known, I know people who's been active on the streets and who dibbled and dabbled. When you're active, then you in the midst of doing something. He wasn't even in the midst of committing a crime on Duck, but how is he a rat? He has nothing to do with that. He's a vlogger, for God's sakes. He might be a hood dude, a Chicago street guy, but he has nothing to do with the FBG Dusser. That was them crashing out. That has nothing to do with me. Nobody can be called no rat. This is a fair case. Some of y'all will be crying as the feds was coming. They're taking everything, houses, keys, cars, anything. One person got their baby mama wrapped up in this just by using the car. And the tag gets hits on the thing. Do you know the amount of money they put in just to break something down? Everything about to unravel over one mistake, over something that you should just went off and just take care of your kids. Was getting opposition that much. But now you're putting a label on somebody if we go specifically what the definition of a rat is, a snitch is somebody who had committed the crime and then turned from committed a crime and then goes off and snitch because he didn't want to do the crime no more. How's that when he has nothing to do with the FBG Duck case? I want y'all to be smart. I want y'all to look at your mind. I want you to really look at your mind. Think logically. Was he setting it up? No. Was he around? No. We already knew who dropped the call in. The paperwork is out. THF Cheesy, whatever his name is. Trench's News was nowhere near there. The man probably was home taking care of his kids, but since there was a mistake of a guy calling him, he's wrapped up in a Fed case. If we know that it's even him, and even if he is wrapped up in a Fed case and he has to go testify, that doesn't make him a rat. He's not an active gang member. He didn't have no parts in that case. He technically is a civilian. I want you to think about what a rat is. When you're when you're out here doing crimes with somebody, and then you go back and snitch on them, and you did the same crimes. He didn't do the crime. People think. Trench's News can't be a rat or a snitch. I can't put that jacket on him. From a logical street perspective, I didn't do no crimes with Trenches. We didn't go run no drills together. I can't call him a rat. That's Chicago business. Half of y'all live in Iowa calling people rats. I want you to think about what you're saying. And the bloggers, no disrespect to the bloggers, they doing good work. They breaking down the stuff. Even if his name was on there, I still don't believe it until he goes up to court and testify. And even if he goes up to testify, he's not a rat due by definition. He didn't do the crime with them for him to be ratting. At that level, he's a civilian. People people who really know the streets know what I'm talking about. He's not an old Blackie, and he's a grown-ass man with kids, just like a lot of y'all. Just like when they slain FBG Duck, he wasn't drilling at that time. He was trying to buy clothes for his kids. And I want to ask a question. How are you an active gang member and you're a rapper? When they went to go kill him, Muwab, who was involved, he was an active rapper. I thought he was, I didn't know he was a gang member. He was an old Blackian. He's getting money. I know he's from there. Is Dirk an active gang member? No, he's a multimillionaire. He can't rep a gang. He'll lose sponsors. The white folks will not invest in him. They don't want to be nowhere near that. We live in a real world. He's a civilian. He's not a rat. He's not a snitch. He's not a paid informant. No matter what y'all saying. And even he has to go testify. In the commission of a crime, he was not there when the crime was committed. So how is he ratting on his homies if he was not there when he was committed? If the feds come, your daughter would turn up some information. Like and subscribe and share the news. Like and subscribe and share.